everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I've got my amazing husband, Jeffrey Lee, here today, and we're going to come and discuss our relationship, how we met, and some other things. A lot of the questions that were asked pretty much on a weekly basis, don't you say?
Yeah, quite often.
Well, one of the questions is how we met. Well, let me speak on that. His college roommate was a friend of mine from high school, and I would go over there to visit, and I think we met actually when I was a senior, and you came to my high school.
Came to visit.
So that's really, we had a mutual friend. So that's kind of how we met. But I'm going to tell you what attracted me to him first, because that is a question that we do get a lot. And it really was just his heart, you know, because at that age, a lot of guys, a lot of boys would step to you like, hey, baby, you know, let me hit that, let me tap, whatever line they wanted to run on you. And it never floated with me. It never did. So you spoke to me and not at me, first of all. And that read volumes. So in the end, I would have to say it was his heart that attracted me to him first. The outer package was just the icing on the cake. So what about you?
I would say very similar. I mean, it's like I had to first initially, I obviously knew you were gorgeous and beautiful, but it was quickly important for me to determine whether or not you were a good person and had a good heart and a good spirit, because as I've mentioned before, it doesn't matter what you look like. If you're not a good person, really in the core of who you are, to me, the relationship's over with. And I'd rather be with someone that maybe isn't as wonderful on the outside, but has everything on the inside that I could ever want. And I just was blessed the fact that you had it all.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's how we met and what first attracted us to each other. But what's kept us together is kind of the same thing. It is a genuine respect and love that we have for each other, wouldn't you say? It's like because we were attracted to the heart and the inside, we've learned to grow as we've gotten older and grown together, grown apart, grown back together. And I think obviously God is at the center of that. But for me, it's just been knowing who and what he is and his heart. So I've learned that, okay, well, that's not you this day, when there's those days where you do want to shoot your spouse. And trust me, we have those days. But I always come back to the heart, you know. So I think that's also how we stay together. But what would you say?
I would agree quite a bit. And I know people hear this all the time when it comes to relationships, that communication is key.
Yeah.
And we've not always been perfect at that, without a doubt. But in addition with communication is also a word that is part of my theme for this year, and that's the word resolve. Really, we've just been determined to stick things out. I mean, we've had issues and disagreements and things where we felt like, you know, we're done and over with, but at the same time, it's like one way or another, we come back and we work on our communication, and it's something that we really have found to be really, really important, and that was a key, I think, to why we've been together.
I agree. And one problem that I have, because the people that are asking me this and have divorces, broken relationships, and if that's you, we're really talking to you, because I've been asked this a lot this past week from friends, hairdressers, and various people. But the key is obviously the foundation. And so I want to get you guys, before you even get into a new relationship, which brings me to the picture that is attached to this vlog, is you have to leave past relationships behind. And with that being said, is I'm not trying to judge. There's no judgment or persecution here. No relationship is perfect. No one's history is perfect. But I know without a shadow of a doubt, what has kept us at a young age is we knew who we were. And we knew what we wanted in the opposite person that we wanted to be with. Whether that was a vision of marriage or a life building together, that's irrelevant. But I knew the way I wanted to be treated. I knew that the type of person that I was going to give my time and energy to had to be a certain way, because I demanded it, because I loved and I respected myself. You know, everyone comes with issues. Everyone comes broken slightly and with baggage to some degree. So I'm not saying wait for that perfect person, because he or she does not exist. What I'm saying is quite simple. You carry baggage from previous relationships that person did to you, and then what you already had. So with that being said, and I'm not trying to be mean again, women, you have got to work on yourselves. You, just like Jeff said, he knew what he wanted in someone, and I did. You've got to know yourself in order to attract what you want. And I mean, would you not agree with that, or do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and I think one of the things too with women in particular is that, and it's not about whether or not you're a strong woman or not, but it's about the level of vulnerability and sometimes the degree of uh, self doubt and lack of confidence. And when you haven't taken time, like Shanna says, to really understand who you are and what you want and really work on yourself, then you're going to attract the kind of guy that either, number one, will want to either fix it all and won't let you then grow, or will take advantage of that brokenness and use you up and spit you out, and you're going on to the next relationship. So both of those can be extremes on both sides that will leave you in the middle being incomplete, not whole, and not fulfilled. And either way, it's not good for who you are. So again, if you don't take time to really work on you, it doesn't matter who you're with, your relationships are going to be temporary and not very fulfilling or lasting.
It's true. And one other factor that I see is, especially women, they're romantic and always like, oh, I dream about this wedding. I mean, anyone that knows me, again, knows I was not that type of girl, but I'm still a girl. We want to be wooed. We want romance. We want all of that stuff and the emotional attachment. So with that being said, for the women that just have to be with someone, like, you know, these women, they go from one relationship to the other to the other.
Yeah.
They are, in my opinion, in love with being in love. And I want to encourage those types of women to step out of that mindset and do what I just said, do what we just said. Get to know you. Get to know your weaknesses, your flaws, your strengths, and the things that you want in this life. And it's not until then, it goes back to what I just said, knowing who you are, you'll be able to fit that person. So when those red flags come up, like, oh, he's too controlling, or oh, instead of looking at someone that's a little overbearing as, oh, he just loves me that much, you might understand it doesn't fit what you want in this life because he might be too controlling. So get to know yourself and stop being in relationships just to be in one. You know? I mean, do you have anything to add?
100%. The pain of being alone is so much less than the pain of being with the wrong person.
Exactly.
So again, let me say it again. The pain that you might feel and the loneliness with being alone, if you do it strategically and with purpose and understand who your authentic you is, so to speak, it's going to be so much more worth it, because then you'll be prepared to be with the right person, even though they're not whole or complete themselves. But when you come together, it's like there's something magical that happens at that point, because you're in such a better place to deal with some of the issues that rip most
that
relationships
will come up,
apart.
you know, because
Inevitably.
a relationship, marriage, kids, life is not easy. So the more you know yourself and the more you're in love with more than the idea of being in love, you're going to find that person. And honestly, that's the best advice that we can give you. I hope this has helped someone. I know it's, you know, a little longer than normal, but it's very important that I want to teach, because this is women of all ages. I see from 20 to 60 years old having these 3 divorces, past, like 10 past relationships, and they just, with everyone, they're broken more and more and more. And so I want to stop, and I want women to think, and men, but mostly I'm just directing this to women, just who they are and what they want, because that will, I guarantee you, bring the person that you're supposed to truly share your life with. And when times do get bad, you'll have the ability and the know-how to fix it and work through it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Okay, well, I love you guys. I hope this has, again, been a blessing. Check us out on Facebook, IG, My Authentic Me, and
YourAuthenticYou.net.
Thank you, and have a blessed day. Bye.